Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have 4 tree projects for you. I think these will transition well through the whole winter season opposed to just Christmas time, so I hope you enjoy them. If so, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and send this video out to a friend who may enjoy it as well. That's going to help me continue to grow over here on my channel. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe, hit that little notification bell to all, and YouTube will let you know every time I upload a new video. Last week I thrifted these little mini trees. I ended up paying like 75 cents for them after my discount at the Giving Tree. So I'm just gonna go in and remove all of these little ornaments. A couple of them are hot glued on, so I'll make sure I get all the glue pulled off. And then we are going to make them into some really, really cute, shabby chic, high-end Christmas trees. All right, they already look better. Now we're going to take them out of the cheapy plastic base. Super simple, okay? So y'all, if you're seeing these at your thrift stores, don't pass them up, because usually the ones that have all these little tiny ornaments are a little cheaper because nobody wants to deal with them. Come on. You want to try to keep that piece of wire intact. Got it. I went out into my garage, into my wood stash. I had these wooden risers. They're like for a bed frame. These little pieces came off of an old fishing rod holder. And then I just grabbed a couple of random knobby pieces and kind of came up with a base. So now I'm thinking I'll put the tree on top here. You know, the knob can kind of become like the trunk. But I'm wondering, like, do we even need this piece? Using my DIY White Swan, I'm going to give almost full coverage to these little spindly pieces. Now that these are dry, I'm just going to take some 220 grit sandpaper and do a little distressing, bring back a little bit of that natural wood. That's why I wasn't worried about 100% perfect coverage, because there where the coverage was lighter, that's where I get some of the good, natural, authentic looking distressing action. Okay, getting a little closer here. Now the wood on this one's a little bit darker, so I'm not going to go too over the top. Okay, closer. Now these are pretty grungy, dingy, so I'm going to grab my DIY clear wax and some decrepit dust. Which is already on the table. So the DIY clear wax is an amazing wax. It is really buttery smooth, super easy to apply. I've got a little bit here on a brush, and I'm just going to give it a light coat. That is going to seal the paint up, and it's also going to give our decrepit dust something to stick to. The decrepit dust is exactly what it sounds like. A little bit of a dust action here. It's going to age our piece and make it look more authentically old like this one. So I've got just a tiny bit here on a chippy brush. I'm just gonna dust over the piece. It's gonna stick really well to that clear wax. Now I've got my Titebond wood glue. I did not paint or wax the bottoms of these because I wanted to make sure they adhered well. This is the Titebond 2 Premium, water resistant indoor outdoor. I have good luck with it. I'm just going to run a little bead of it around the edge here. Let that dry up. Now that the base is glued, we've got our hole. I'm just gonna do a little bit of the same wood glue. I found this adorable little vintage trim out in my stash. It's wrapped around an old spool, and I'm just going to add some to each tree to complete the shabby chic look. Way better. No look on project number 1. I love these little Junkin trees. Don't pass up these vintage trees. Even if they're covered with old ornaments, you can definitely upcycle them into some beautiful high-end decor. Drop me a comment below. What do you think of my first project? This next project, these trees came, I believe, from the Target dollar spot. I think the smaller ones were $3, maybe the bigger ones were around $5. I'm gonna take them apart and we're just going to make them even more beautiful and high-end appearing than they already are. Have a little bit of this burlap fabric and then plastic around cement. These are just hot glued in, so you're able to twist them out. To stain up my candlesticks, I'm going to be using some of the Sweet Pickins Dark Oil Wax. This is a finishing product. You can use it on raw wood and also over milk paint, and I've used it on DIY paint. I've just got a chip brush here, and I'm going to apply it liberally over the entire candlestick and let it sit for about 10-15 minutes, really soak in. I want a nice dark appearance on these to pop against the flocking on the trees. All right, after about 15 minutes or so, I'm just gonna take a Viva paper towel here and kind of wipe back a lot of the excess oil wax. Most of it's soaked in, and I wanna leave a little bit in these crevices because I am going to age it a little bit more with some DIY white decrepit dust. Now, these were 2 different kinds of wood, so that the oil wax does look different on both of them, but I will be selling these trees individually, so that's totally okay. I've got the decrepit dust, but this time it's the white. And right on these candlesticks where they've got the little lines, little pieces of accent, I'm gonna put some of this decrepit dust right in there. And then we'll just wipe it back. And a little bit of hot glue to instant set it. If you're new here, you'll be able to find all of the paint, products and my flips over on my website, upcycledbybri.com. I'll list it here on the screen for you, but I'll be sure to link everything down below for you as well in the description box. For this next project, I'm going to redo these baskets. I had lavender in them with the real dirt effect. They didn't ever sell, so I pulled the lavender out. We're gonna take this out and do some flocking instead. So that will be realistic looking snow. I do have this linked down in my Amazon shop down below. And then we'll put trees in. Y'all, these have to be my favorite project today. I do have them listed up for sale individually, but if they don't sell in a couple days, I think I'm gonna pull them off the website and keep them for myself this year, even though I was trying to downsize on my Christmas tree stash. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, right? At the end of the video, be sure to leave me a comment and let me know which project is your favorite today. The last project today is going to be an upcycle of some different pieces. I had this little candle cup holder. It's a half spindle wall hanging piece I thrifted for about 75 cents after my discount. This scrap piece of wood came off of an old table I took apart for parts, and then all of the floral came off of a wreath that I took apart a couple of weeks ago for a bathroom makeover, and I got it free from an estate sale clean out. So this project cost me next to nothing, and it's super cute at the end. I gave the piece of wood a coat of DIY white swan, and I painted the bottom of the spindle with DIY apothecary to make it look like the Christmas tree trunk was sitting in a little pot. Then I took my drill and drilled several holes throughout the base of the spindle here and used a combination of wood glue and hot glue to glue my floral sprigs down into the trunk. I'm going to take some of my DIY white wax and go over the apothecary here. I figured if I did the bottom of the spindle a different color, it would kind of look like it was a tree in a pot. So just got a little bit on a chip brush, and I'm just going to use a very light hand and give this a little dry brushing. All right, I hot glued a little piece of jute rope, stuck it down in there, and now I've cut a bigger piece. I'm just gonna wrap it around the base here. I think that's gonna give it a nice little bit of texture, and then also just make it look a little more finished. I hot glued the ends, let these cool, that way it doesn't unravel. This was such a fun upcycle, and I love the way my vision came together. Drop me a comment and let me know what you think, and don't forget to check your wood section at your thrift store for these half spindle pieces. They definitely come in handy for many different projects, especially if you don't have the proper saw to cut your own.
Y'all don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, I'll see y'all later. Bye, friends.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that one was easy. Using it's fine. And the decrepit